It's the white man's burden, and it weighs a ton. I'm a family man, a model citizen. Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect 3 on the Mysterious JG, and some part of the weird, social Darwinist conversation I had with Javik brought the phrase white man's burden into my mind, and I had to get it out by singing a little song. Speaking of singing, we're going to go visit Cortez, who's a big fan of musical theater, if you catch my drift, and James, who prefers calling you Lola. La 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 Lola. Oh wait, that's only through FemShep. It's not the world's most dangerous guy. He's got the wooden leg and a big glass eye. Sorry. That is not worth explaining where that comes from. Even Boba would not catch that reference.
Everything okay, Shepard?
Sure you don't want to talk to me, Cortez? I made a big deal about how it was going to happen last time. We got anything we want to upgrade? You know, we got to the point now. It's been long enough since we've spent any money that I could actually start throwing some around again. The big question becomes, because I'm tempted to upgrade. I'm really pretty impressed with what James is doing armed with that particle rifle. I'm tempted to upgrade the particle rifle. There's probably better rifles I could be using though. I mean, you know, you could. The big money objects that are left are mostly armors, because I think we've kind of decided I can't be bothered with the Paladin is the best overall pistol in the game, I think, but it's probably better than the Solarian-like thing that shoots sticky bombs, but I'm enjoying the sticky bombs. So maybe if we just get a lot of money, this would probably be the smartest one to actually use overall, but it's expensive. And the Wraith, I don't use shotguns. Still, it would be good to give my squad mates the best weapons. And that's something in a lot of my off-screening of this game. I never bother to really take care of my squad mates and their weapons. But you should. I've seen there's a whole other model of gun that we had never found that might actually be better than what we've been using. Batarian State Arms. I've been through all this, though, on camera, and I probably said something about off-camera shopping, which I then, of course, never did. Ooh, concentration mod. Increases damage by 10%, speeds perception. I don't know what we're using for the sniper rifle, but I think I'm using what I feel like I have to use. I think I'm using the thing that reduces weight, and probably the thing that increases ammo capacity. But if I ever decide that I don't care about that, ooh, metagel capacity, I can still keep going with that. Sort of supplies. But I'll do that in my next visit to the Citadel. Although my very next visit to the Citadel will probably take me straight into a mission. Will not allow me to shop, but that's fine. We'll deal with it. Different little fun models and stuff you can play with. I didn't actually mean to skip down to the bottom, but that's okay. Cyprotine Armory. Spare Thermal Clip 5. So there is stuff I could be buying at my next visit. Don't think I've been using the enhanced scope, although I like it. I wish I had room for it, because it's the one that helps you aim through smoke. Let me take a quick look at what I'm actually using over there. Because what I'm thinking, although it doesn't make a huge difference, I'm thinking I should pick some... Let us see. It is, in fact, it is the spare thermal clip and the ultralight materials mods. And I probably can't right now, because that's almost doubling my ammo capacity. And 10% reduction in weight is kind of a lot with this gun. Buying that new submachine gun and seeing if it's better than what I've got would be interesting. I hate the fact that I'm using ultralight materials on that thing, but I'm using it on everything, including the submachine one, which weighs even less than the pistol does. Well, bottom line is there's nothing that's screaming out to me as my next buy, but there's enough things that are available that could be useful that I don't want to drop money into upgrading the, well, how much would it really cost, though? The, particle rifle, 4,000. And then the next one would be 5, probably 6. I mean, I'd be spending like 20 or 30K on it. And it doesn't make huge differences. It improves weapon damage, ammo capacity, and weight. And the only one of those that makes a difference to my squad mates is weapon damage. So there's a small increase on 3 different things, but only one of them matters unless I'm personally using the weapon. So I think I'll hold off, and I won't do anything with that now.
You think that cure they dispersed could do anything to us? We're not going to start growing scales or anything, right?
Well, I mean, Morden was already talking about people having scale itch in the last game, which they get from Baron. Implications disturbing.
Maybe now that we have the Krogan on board, we can go back to fighting the Reapers.
That would be nice.
I was looking at the specs on that Reaper you took out on Tuchanka. That was one of the small ones? Don't get me wrong, it's still dead, but damn. There was nothing small about it.
That's what she said.
Hey.
You. Get it. So, although I still managed to get 10 minutes out of it with all the blathering, in fact, there wasn't a whole lot to be said to either of the 2 dudes who hang out in the shuttle bay, Cortez or James. I really need to remember Cortez's name. Because it isn't really cool to go around calling him, you know, that gay guy, the shuttle pilot, you know. That's not what I meant. I meant CIC, not combat, or not Shepard's cabin, anyway. Off we go into the wild black yonder. Oh, now it's time to find out that I actually have to do a bunch of... Or I have to switch disks. That's probably what's coming next here. So what do we got? Cerberus fighter base. That appears to be it. Unless we got Reaper systems that we should be pillaging before we head for the Citadel again. Meet the Solarian Counselor is our next main plot mission. Meet Dr. Bryson is the piece of DLC that has been available throughout. We could have done that almost from the beginning of the game. Ooh, Attican Beta we haven't explored. So we could do Attican Beta and 8. Ooh, there's a couple. Atheon Cluster too. Alright, let's hit those up before we do the next mission. So sorry if this ended up being misleading. Now this series, I have recently at least been uploading a video a day, so if I said last time we were going to get started on a mission and it didn't quite happen, it's not like I got you waiting a week.
Signal confirmed.
It's the Aru system. The Volus homeworld. Hey, Arun, the Volus homeworld. It's a high-pressure, high-gravity planet that supports an ammonia-based ecology. This rare environment means that Volus have been slow to colonize, as there are few planets that meet their habitation requirements. Most prefer to stay on Arun, working remotely via the extranet. The most adventurous dons the clumsy but vital pressure suits and venture out into worlds in the Citadel to make their fortunes. And you know, I've been actually kind of a fan of the Volus as a race. We've met a couple of really unpleasant ones. They've been the butt of jokes periodically. Shockingly, the most unpleasant we've dealt with ever has been their ambassador. Arun is remarkable for having done away with warfare as an institution of the state. Volus culture lacks the romantic view of war found in the galaxy's more aggressive species. Physical skirmishes between groups rarely last long and are almost always ended by social castigation, bargaining agreements, or harsh economic sanctions. Arun cities tend to be built on fast trade routes rather than militarily defensible positions. This has left them vulnerable to Husk attack now that the Reapers have overwhelmed the Turian fleets and begun a ground war on the planet. Citadel Travel Advisory. Arun's ammonia-based atmosphere is toxic to non-Volus life forms. Visitors to Arun must wear pressure suits at all times when traveling outside of environmentally controlled areas. And their capital is Lenos. Or Lenos. It might be Lenos too. But sadly, the Reapers are attacking. That sucks for them. Not like unexpected, of course, but still. Poor Shadow Broker. Assistant guy. Who has a name I'm just blanking on. The Book of Plenix. Yeah, that was one of the things that one of their dudes asked us to find that, so. There's the planet Jackdaws. Chirksab, named after Northern Runian luck deity, Chirksab is overshadowed by the economy on Lossil and the scientific research on Daldit, the solar system's middle child. I know that feeling. Chirksab now has the only functioning helium-3 fuel apparatus in the system, as the Reapers have not yet struck there. Space around it is jammed with full of ships trying to flee the system. And we're in there bumping into them, trying to scan for stuff. Bolus fabrication units. We no longer have a limited number of probes because they kept the probe minigame without really working it into the economy again. The planet Jackdaws. Jackdaws features heavily in ancient Volus mythology and folklores. Jackdaws folklores. Since its bright white surface made it easy to chart the night sky without the aid of a telescope. Once the Volus developed advanced astronomical equipment, their scientists discovered that Jackdaws' luminosity was caused by a thick carbon monoxide cloud cover that had hidden the real face of the planet for millennia. And from millennia, which is why she didn't go around on the planet murdering everyone with traps. Get out, come on!
Faster than light jump successful. Evasion successful.
This minigame is just, it's one of those things where you can have a whole video game back in the day based on this.
Reapers
But once you make this a minigame in a larger game, it just becomes irritating, especially when there's really no penalty for failure. There's not much incentive to get good at it. It's just, you died, well, just keep trying, I guess, until you die. There is one more secret to be found here, and I want to find it.
Evasion successful.
Should be up here somewhere, because this is the place I haven't checked much. Oh, was that the planet
Reapers
Lodi?
eluded.
I thought I was stuck in Lodi again.
Faster than light jump successful.
Irritation mounting, Shepard. Maybe it's like close to the mass relay for some reason.
Evasion successful.
Like, where have I not scanned at this point? Oh, wait a minute, what the hell? This has been here this whole time, I just ignored it, like, ugh. My bad, folks, my bad. Sorry.
Reapers eluded.
Little brain fart there. Okay,
I found something.
So we should be able to get quite a few little plot thingies here for our next visit to the Citadel. I think the Volus Dreadnought Quunu, which is not a plot thing. I think that's just a flat-out war asset that's floating around in the system. Reaper's pissed. Okay, here's some fuel, which I could use at this point, because the last fuel boost I got was when I had full fuel.
Faster than light jump successful.
Setud Ard. We're coming for you, Setud Ard.
Signal confirmed.
Yeah, you don't really have to scan much at all before they just... I don't understand that whole repo alertness thing. They just... Once you scan once, you've got a few seconds before they're all over you. It's engineering team. Should pretty much take care of it. So mostly we're just getting war assets. Sometimes they're quest items that somebody on the Citadel has asked for.
Successful.
And when they are, really all you tend to get out of them is war assets anyway for completing the mini quest. But still. See, these are not... I thought each of these Reapers was a special little flower. But in fact, as we found out from Edie, these things all have very similar designs because they're not cool, full-size badasses like Sovereign, CERN's flagship.
Evasion successful.
We're now very close to having wrapped this thing, but there's 3 more. We have established by now that they're 11% each item we find. So there will be 3 in the North system. We have established that we are going to try.
I found something.
Alright, well, that's just fuel, but that's okay. That's still useful. It's the ruby out of Omar Kur, as opposed to Omar Khayyam. Boom, boom, dun, dun, dun. Bolus Intelligence Archives. That's not a war asset. That's a plot item, which will probably unlock war assets when we talk to the right person.
Reapers eluded.
Oh, that's it? Oh, I thought they were 11% each. Huh. Well, I mean, it says 100% assets recovered. Mildly surprised. I figured we had more to do, but oh, fuck
Faster
off.
than light jump successful.
It's hit a system that we know still has a fuel depot. Krogan DMZ we know still has a fuel depot. Spend some of those precious credits I was agonizing over how to spend on fuel, and then promptly probably find free fuel in the first system we search. But, you know, whatever, it's not a big deal. So that's AP and Crespi. I said they showed us secrets uncovered percentage for the Milky Way, but that ain't how it works. Kite's Nest, 80s Gamma. There was one over here, Attican Beta. It was just Attican Beta. So we'll search here for this is the closest thing this game has to exploration. It's on a much larger scale, I suppose. For a minute there, I didn't think the Reapers were even looking for me in this system. Somebody wrote all the text descriptions. Ooh, interferometric array. Okay, somebody wrote all these text descriptions for these planets that very few people ever read. It's all competently written, though, generally grammatically correct, that sort of thing. There we go. This is going to be fuel. I should have saved it. I should have realized. Oh, and I got game over. Well, actually, I suppose that means I can take advantage of that knowledge this time. I might even be able to get out of here before the Reapers detect me. Nope. Yeah, this time I'll leave that and I'll pick it up on my way out of the system. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Evasion successful.
Oh, and it's nice, easy math. I know there'll be 2 things to find in Theseus. The Roman god of Theseus. And Hercules, aka Heracles, I can deal with later. So that will not completely refill my fuel reserves. No, I'm not using the Mass Effect relay, damn it. Mass Effect 1 never made those kind of goofs. They had a separate loading screen for interstellar... whatever. It's not really interstellar, it's more like inner cluster.
I found something.
Pretty cool, huh? Barrows! So that's Exogeny. This is, Barrows is much colder. This is the planet, isn't it? I think capital Exogeny building. Population 300. Hampered by crumbled debris dozens of meters deep. Isn't this the planet where we actually found oh no, I can't remember now if this is the one that had the Creeper or the Thorian, or if this is the one that we found the Yarr on. I think the Thorian was here. Don't we have like Pharaoh's? And we have Pharaoh's people that we read about, and they were our exogeny scientists. They were our war asset. Maybe I'm just way off base or out of my mind. So this will be more fuel, and then we actually got out without alerting the Reapers for once. We'll get even more fuel. Now, the more of these these hidden assets you find that are fuel, actually, the worse off you are, because that's something that you could just be spending cash and not a unique thing you can only get through this method. But I don't mind too much if I, as long as I get them in the proper sequence to be useful to me. Get out, get out, get out! There we go. What was your deal? Were you, oh no, we haven't searched you. Although now I'm going in to start my search with less than full fuel. Could come back to bite us on the behind. Listening Post X-19 was built shortly after the Rachni Wars. Oh, this is the system we came to chillax with Grunt, and it wasn't searchable, and it might still not be searchable. Oh, that's right. I remember having some confusion about how this was working. It didn't really seem like we could search.
Faster than light jump successful.
Because we didn't actually... I really feel like we should be able to find stuff here, but that's right. We already went through a mess with this, and it didn't seem to work the way that the other systems work. So let's get our butts over to the system where we can have a Cerberus fighter base confrontation. And of course, isn't it? And I guess in order to be technically accurate, in the previous video I said we get started on that mission. This video, I suppose I could still make that happen. This is Noveria. This was Noveria is in fact the planet where, yeah, all the high spots of Mass Effect 1 are getting revisited. I always forget the name of the planet where we found Tali'Zorah. But we had Pharos, which had the Thorian. We had Noveria, which had Administrator Menelaus. I think that was his name. He was one of my favorite evil Solarian characters. And it had the only redneck Turian. He wasn't a redneck. He was just the dumb Turian. He was this folksy, kind of down-to-earth, decent mechanic who just came across being kind of a dumb guy, but you know, nice. And it had the like sort of shifty Turian who was like gregarious and friendly in his political wheeling dealing, and Matriarch Venezia. And probably at some point Veermeyer pops up in the story too. It's hard to remember all the different places where things come up again in later Mass Effect games. So, you know, rather than try to cheat things here, and you know, at this point the video's over, so I was like, oh, I could start and then pause, and then I could claim I started the mission, but nah. This video is going to be just slightly short, but next time, folks, next time, we will begin the Cerberus fighter base mission, and all the excitement that entails. Well, actually, we got like another 5 minutes here. Well, I'll read the description. Noveria is a small, frozen, terrestrial world. I'm sorry, I got something on my screen. Let's go away. Barely habitable by conventional definitions. It's privately chartered by the Noveria Development Corporation, who lease out labs for research too dangerous or controversial to be performed elsewhere. The hot labs. Oh, good God, too hot labs. Oh. The war has brought significant attention to this otherwise obscure planet. Noveria is home to some of the most advanced research in the galaxy, a sure magnet for Cerberus interests. Further, Noveria's mass relay is the stop between the humans' Exodus cluster and the beginning of Solarian space. It's a safe bet the Solarians will defend their borders to the utmost. And Port Hanshan is the capital. And that is actually the name of the port that we visited, I believe, in Mass Effect 1. AKA Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1 was just called Mass Effect, in a similar way to the man currently residing on the throne of St. Peter, the reigning pontiff. He is not the First. He's just Francis. You know, people call him Francis the First. He's just Francis till there's another Francis. By the time you watch this video, you could be many years from now, there could have been 10 Francises, 10 Franci. But as I record it, he is Francis the First. Mass Effect is Mass Effect. And I am stalling for time. When we come back, folks, we will have a full-length video in which we travel to Noveria and try to do something about the Cerberus presence there. I believe, I can't promise that this is one of the side missions, the optional missions where we meet an old Mass Effect 2 squad mate who does not join us, but it's like, hey Shepard, nice to see you. Find out next time on the Mysterious CG. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.